What is one life advice? If you had to pull one life advice to give to your younger self?
Believe in yourself. Nobody's going to believe in you like you can. And I say this in meetings. I tell everybody, you know who I trust the most? I trust myself. Because I know what I'm capable of doing and what I'm not capable of doing. You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you. That's the reality. Think of it. If you went to a doctor for a life-threatening operation and the doctor doesn't believe in what he or she does, then why would you go with that doctor, right? So I can tell you that when I do something, and depending on what I'm doing, because if I don't know how to do it, I'll give it to someone. When I do something, I believe I'm the best at doing that. And that's what I have in my head. There may be a bunch of other people that are better than me, but I believe I'm the best. And I believe that I'll compete with anybody at the highest level. And that's what I did when I became a lawyer. I wanted to go up against the best. And when I went up against the best, I said to myself, you know what? I'm just as good as they are. And I did it at a very young age. And I remember listening to other lawyers arguing. And I said, like, I know more than that guy. I can do the same thing that they can. And one of the most fulfilling things is some of the lawyers that I respected the most, when, I was a young lawyer, I was 20-something years old, and these folks that were like in their late 40s or 50s, and they were incredible lawyers, I ended up working with them in big cases. So that to me was a lesson that anybody is capable of doing what they put their mind to do. The worst thing that you can think to yourself is, I can't do that. I can't achieve that. I can't get to that level. Because you can. Because everybody else can do it too, right? So how many people have you seen that start literally from nothing? And, my example is I started with nothing. My dad wasn't a lawyer. I didn't have anybody with pedigree. My dad started off and he was homeless when he was young, sleeping in newspapers.
Wow.
And he self-taught himself with Reader's Digest, traveling to a country.
So when you started your law practice, you were like doing your copies, doing your stuff. Because now you have like assistants and secretaries. But when you started your career, you were like everything.
That's right. But you know what?
You were your
yes. But you know what? I know when the paper gets stuck, I can do it myself. I can fix the copy machine.
Absolutely.
I used to go clock in the paperwork myself.
Yeah.
I had no secretary.
That's incredible.
I had to type the stuff myself. And when you learn granularly, you never forget that.
Oh, absolutely
like
not.
Riding a bike, rollerblading, roller skating, whatever you do in life that you do early on, that becomes granular, you never forget that.
I had a bakery, and I remember when I was hiring people to work in the kitchen, I learned, because I learned how to do it, and so I would observe them, and I was able to kind of like look and say, oh, okay, well, this part you didn't do it right, because it was, or this part, or ask them, but absolutely I agree. Cuando uno está ciego and you don't really know, I'm using my Spanglish, always happens, but
but look, okay. I don't know about pastries or making pastries like you do. You have that experience that I don't have. And that's spectacular at any level of anything that you do. If there are a couple things that I would love to be able to know better, would be like religion, studying religion more in depth, because I didn't go to a religious school. That's one area that I would like to absorb more. I wanted to become a doctor, believe it or not, even after I was become a lawyer.
I think that's important, getting closer to your creator, and that's my belief.
I'm fascinated by the human body. Why? I'm fascinated because people don't sometimes think about, they talk about AI, and AI is going to do this, but at the end of the day, AI was created by human beings. So the one thing that we've never been able to do is reproduce a human brain or a human. Do you understand how many nerves and functionality we as a human being have? It's remarkable that I can be sitting here with you and that my brain is telling me like answer or move your hands, and like those are things that are just remarkable from something that's created by a man and a woman and some higher being. That's really remarkable when you start to think about it. All those connectors and the electrical impulses and then, but when you open a human being up, it's not like a machine or anything. You can't, it's
Well, that's the whole thing. The soul, the soul, the body,
Right.
the heart, the
So
mind.
to me, that's fascinating. I wanted to become a doctor to understand that even more. But obviously, I was doing so many things I couldn't
But
go
do
to
you,
medical
do you think
school.
that's a medicine? Isn't that more like anatomy? You're talking about.
Well, I mean, to me, medicine is anatomy. You got to, understand how
but-
everything works, and the functionality of, what the brain does, what the heart does, what the organs do, what everything
because
is,
the
the
soulless
tissue.
body is just
Yeah.
a body.
Yeah, and then you have, some deep thoughts, right? Like, what is the soul? The soul is something that you
energy.
can't touch.
Right.
You can't touch it.
But it's there.
I know.
Without the soul, it's like that's where we're all
That's
different.
right. That's right. And the
That's why
soul.
some of us sleep 3 hours
Yeah.
and some of us sleep 8 hours.
But look, the soul is an evolution of what your experiences are. A lot of it is about your experiences.
Do you believe that there's strength in vulnerability?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we're all vulnerable. We all are. Some people try to mask it. Some people show it.
But the strength in showing it.
Absolutely. I mean, I cry, and I don't have any reservations about doing
You
that.
cry on command?
If you hit me hard enough. Yeah. No, but I think I'm a pretty emotional person, depending on what the topic matter is. But I get very attached to people from different sort of views of what I'm doing. Like I could be attached to people at work, and it's not a family member, but I work with them so much, and you start caring about them, you understand their family and what they do. That one of the things that I think my parents taught me this is to be appreciative. You
You're an
can't
empath?
think.
Would you say you're an empath?
Yeah. So I look. I think what happens is that you can't think that because you have money you're better than somebody else, and that's one of the things that I've seen in our society that to me is pretty ugly, and a lot of times I find grotesque. I don't want to go to a restaurant and treat the waiter bad simply because I can be sitting at that restaurant and pay for the meal. I don't think that's appropriate because that person has a family. That person has their own life and their own issues and their own reason why they're in that situation. We're not all as fortunate. We all don't all have the same opportunity. And for you to do something like that with a person that in your brain you think is inferior to you is not right. I don't believe that I'm better than anybody else.
That world goes round and round. You never know.
I
That person
believe
might
that-
be the one that may
Yes,
save you the
yes,
day of
and
tomorrow.
I'm going to tell you a story about that in a minute. I don't believe that I'm better than anybody else. I just believe that I can do certain tasks better than other people. Tasks.
Like what?
Like if I'm practicing law, I can do that particular task.
So aside from law, like what other tasks?
There's a million things. Like, in my
Like-
younger age, I
like
was
what?
super
Like
fast
mow the lawn?
runner. So I could run faster than somebody else. If you were playing a sport and you wanted a fast runner, it was me. You better, play chess.
So you're competitive at all levels.
I'm competitive because I know the areas that I believe to be better than others to complete that either game or task, whatever you want to call it. But I don't think I'm better than another human being just because I'm me.
So